Tune in every time. We don't do no cap. Report only facts. Progress report. We got the news, new interviews. We got the stats. Keep it a rack. Come join the pack. No, we.
Have no fear, your man damn Riggz is here. Shout out to the Progress Report. We adult swimming. Let's get it.
The Progress Report.
Guest of the night, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, Progress Report? It's your boy Riggz. We out here adult swimming right now. What's going on, Lala?
Riggz, what's good? How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel great, man. I'm out here.
That's
I'm out
what's
here. What's
up.
up with you?
Hey, man, I'm chilling. I'm good, man. I was actually listening to the project when I was in the shower, you know, doing my thing. You know, that's the best time for me to listen to music because I can actually, like, you know, just really be one with it, besides being in my car because I like being in my car. But I fuck with the project, though.
I appreciate that.
I fuck with the project, man. You got a nice voice.
Appreciate it.
And I like the subject matter, so I got a whole bunch of questions for you.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm going to let you go ahead first. Just, you know, just talk about where you come from, and then, you know, we'll go into the Adult Swim project.
Yeah, but like I said, my name is Riggz. Coolest nigga in the building when I'm under the ceiling. From Boston, Massachusetts. I now reside in Atlanta. I've been here since March, and shit just kind of been running since I got here.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm happy to be here.
What's funny is my homeboy Noble, he got the Museum TV in Boston. He
Yeah.
hit me, was like, man, let me know how that interview go, man. I got my Boston fam up there. So I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, man.
Word.
I fuck with Boston. There's a lot of money in Boston, and
Hell
I just
yeah,
like
it
how
is.
y'all move, man. But it's just cold, but
Yeah, it's cold as shit right now.
it's cold as hell, man.
Yeah, I'm happy to be
but
here.
I bet. I fuck with Boston, though,
Yeah.
you know. So talk about coming up in Boston. Talk about y'all evolving music scene as well.
Yeah, so growing up in Boston, first off, was very cold, but it was amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's the hub of education, right? Mecca of education. You got all the great schools and stuff like that. As far as music evolving and stuff like that, I didn't really get into the music scene in Boston, like the hip hop scene anyways, in Boston until I graduated in 2014 and came home from school.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I started getting into it. But before that, like I was always in like actual music and stuff like that because I started playing drums when I was 6, professionally at
Word.
11.
Okay.
And then I was doing like Berkeley programs and all that stuff like that. And like, so I was really like out here playing in jazz bands and gospel groups and
That's
touring
hard.
and stuff like that. But like hip hop, I got into it in 2014 when I came home from college. And like the scene that I got into was like real boom bap-ish, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, real hip hop.
Right, because I wasn't on the ground. I was away at school when
Sure.
cats who like weren't at school was rapping and making connects with each other, right?
Yeah.
So when I got back, I had to try to find any way in that I could. So they had like open mic events and shit.
Okay.
They had like different stuff that I would go to, and I kind of just like built my crew off of that, which is like there's a bunch of different sounds in Boston. There's like not one sound.
Nah, definitely. That's
You
a
know what I
fact.
mean? So it is what it is, but it's changed a lot. There's a lot of cats doing their good shit right now, but I'm not really concerned with them.
For sure. I mean, nah. I fuck with a couple of niggas in Boston, man. I got a
there's
couple of
definitely
artists
some cool
out there.
niggas.
Shout out to Fast Coop. It's a couple of niggas I deal with out there, but
Fast Coop be fucking jamming.
hey, man, that's what's up, man. Those my boys. Free Cino, by the way, but
Fast.
you know, yeah, man. But I fuck with Boston though. I like what y'all got going on, and like I said, with Noble, shout out to him again because he's really trying to put on as far as the media in Boston, and I respect that. Like,
Hell yeah.
I know how it is to come from a city that's super talented, but you know, music is not the number one thing. As a, you know, Atlanta, that's the number one thing.
Right.
Entertainment, music. You come to Atlanta, you know what's going on. So, shout out to Boston, man.
Niggas got to know though, because we tough up in Boston. I
Y'all
put us up
hard.
against
I
anybody.
agree.
So.
Y'all niggas is fire.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I feel
I
like
think we
y'all getting there. Y'all
For sure,
getting there.
for sure.
Y'all just gotta stick together and
Yeah.
you know, make it happen. Represent, you know.
Take some time.
So okay, so you say you went away to college and came back and then you got into music. So
Right.
what was it that was just like, man, I'm about to start doing this music shit for real?
So like I always loved music. You know, like I said, I was in it since I was 6 years old, and like that was my first job. I never had a job until like I got to college because I was always getting money for playing drums
That's dope as
and
fuck.
recording and stuff like that. So, you know, from 11 years old, I'm getting money. So like I would get paid to play drums at 11 years old, and every Mother's Day I was buying my mom like a Gucci purse or like you say like because at 11, what you doing? You don't. You know what I mean? I was saving bread, but I was
That's
buying my
what's up.
mom purses in between time, in the meantime. You know what I mean?
That's hard.
So when I was at school, like my senior year, I had a job already lined up. I was working at Liberty Mutual, Fortune 100 company.
Liberty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
So exactly. So I was doing that, and then like I wasn't excited though. I was like, damn, like I'm about to go work this job, and like I know my whole heart's in music. So
Hey.
I did that for a year, hated that shit, and then was no longer at that job anymore, and just started doing music full time.
That's hard.
Started a business, a transportation business. So then I
Nice.
started getting paid, and
Damn
I was like,
right.
oh, now I can really just focus on music and don't got to worry about that shit. So
Smart man. Question though. Now, back to what you were saying about the drums. I'm just curious.
Okay.
You know, if you don't mind, like, how much money can somebody make, like, playing in bands and stuff like that, if you know how to play an instrument well?
you can make a ton of bread.
Really?
Yeah. Especially considering the
hard.
fact, and my I had a ceiling though when I was playing
okay,
drums
okay.
because I wasn't 21 yet, right? So like,
Young boy, yeah.
Being 21 or even being 18, you could literally play Monday through Sunday. You know what I'm saying? There's a gig. You can do a gig every night.
True.
And you could do gigs where you're getting paid like $450 for a couple hours, for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be doing mad different stuff. So I could rack this shit up. You know what I mean? Like
Nigga, I'm about
if
to
I'm
get
playing
a drum
every
kit
night.
tomorrow, nigga. Fuck you mean, but not for you.
But I'm a church boy, right? As you can probably hear
okay.
on the album.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so I was playing drums on Sundays and making bread that way. And
Smart guy. That's
Saturdays
what's
and
up.
Sundays, because Saturdays I'd be out with a gospel group on the road, probably like Connecticut or New York or somewhere like that.
Right.
Sunday morning I'm back to Boston playing in church at 11 a.m. Then there's an afternoon program at 3 p.m.
Right.
And then I'll probably playing somewhere later on that night at 8 p.m. So I just made 3 checks
That
on
quick.
Sunday and
That's
another
hard.
one on Saturday. You know what I mean? So it was dope. It was real dope.
Also, man, I mean, I've always wanted to learn how to play the drums, but you really just put a little bit more inspiration into my heart just now. That's dope.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what's up, man.
For
So
sure.
I'm gonna explore it. Okay, so let's get into this new project, man, Adult Swim.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like I was saying, I was listening to it when I was in the shower. I'm like, damn. Like, I fuck with it, man. But I wanted to ask you, like, how would you define your style? Like, if you had to put your style into words, what would you say?
I would say it's like soul hop, right?
Ooh, okay, I like that.
It's like soul hop because it's smooth as a motherfucker.
Very smooth.
But at the same time, that bass will kick you in your ass. You know what I'm saying? So the drums be banging, but the melodies be on point. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like it's like Teddy Pendergrass and fucking 2 Chainz came together and made some ill shit.
Nah, that's
You know
some
what I
real
mean?
shit. I mean, cause it's like I hear Tank, one of my favorite artists.
fucking
but
love Tank,
I
man.
hear
He's like
Tank
my
in
hero.
some of the songs, and then I hear
appreciate that.
some like hip hop and that shit. But see, when my boy hit me and said she was from Boston, I was like, oh, okay, it made sense,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So that's dope. I fuck with it. I think the joint with T-Pain is very tough. But then you got another joint with Big K.R.I.T. So I mean,
Correct.
talk about working with those, you know, those artists of that caliber, man. How did that come about?
Shit. Still kind of beats me, yo. You know, like it ain't really hit me yet. It ain't really hit me yet. Cause like growing up, I always loved T-Pain, right? Like when Pain came out with his 3 Rings album, you know, the circus one.
Oh yeah.
Shit, man, I was like, God damn, like the ringleader. I was like, yo, this nigga T-Pain is dope. And so I wore that album out like in 08 driving my first car. My first car was a hoopty. I ain't had one
Hey,
since.
man.
But my first car was a hoopty.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. And I remember wearing that shit out for at least a year, you know what I mean, up and down the highway.
Okay.
And so, you know, later on to fast forward and have a record with Pain, I still ain't met him yet, but
Okay.
To have a record with Pain
That's
is
huge.
super crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds supernatural too. You know what I mean? Like I was gonna ask you if you guys recorded the record in the studio, but it sound natural. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes if you don't record with an artist in the same session, you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you know, so Juice and I talked about it, and Juice produced the record. My man Juice God, follow him on Instagram. He's super
Okay.
dope at Juice God.
Word.
And he produced the record, and so we didn't have like a solid ass idea on what we wanted the record to be yet.
Okay.
We knew we had this fire ass track that Pain would sound good on. So we shipped it off to him. We was like, yo, man, like, put the hook on this shit. And so he came up with the hook. And when he sent it back, I was like, all right, bet. So when I first started penning, I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to do this rap verse. And Juice was like, hold that thought. Like,
Okay.
you need to sing on this shit. And I was like, you right. Because, like, niggas have a track with T-Pain, right? There's a few niggas out there who got tracks with T-Pain, but ain't nobody really on track singing with fucking T-Pain
That's
like
true.
that. You know what I mean? So I was like, we definitely going to do it like that. And,
Okay.
yeah, I think we came together and made some magic.
Nah,
I think he can
definitely.
make some magic. So hopefully when I meet him, he feel the same way about this shit.
Nah, for sure. I think it's a solid record. You know what I mean? I would probably say that's one of my favorites off the project, for real. If I had to pick one, you know what I mean?
That's dope.
Now, also another collab, like I just mentioned, is Big K.R.I.T. So talk about working with K.R.I.T.
K.R.I.T's a shit. I first learned about Big K.R.I.T in 2015, and he was putting on a free show in Boston at the Sinclair.
Dope. Okay.
And I didn't know any of his songs. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
My homie just told me to pull up. I got a free ticket. I was like, smooth.
Of course.
Right?
That's always the best.
So I pull up, and I'm standing in the balcony, and I'm like skeptical, like everybody is at first. Especially me, because I'm a Boston nigga, so I'm on my Boston shit.
Right.
You know, we don't fuck with nobody until you
Man,
make us.
y'all
You know what I
niggas
mean?
so cold. Y'all just
we
cold.
cold.
Y'all like New York niggas, bro. Y'all just cold.
Correct.
That's all it is.
Correct.
That's all it is, man.
So like I'm watching him. Next thing you know, like before you know it, I'm fucking sweating because I'm bobbing my head so hard. This nigga's got this whole venue just rocking. Like niggas is hanging off the balcony, people on the floor losing their fucking mind, and it's literally just him on stage jumping up and down like a basketball player the whole time, and you can hear every single word. He's got no backing tracks on his tracks. Only the hooks are rocking, and he was just tearing that bitch down from top to bottom, and his flow and cadence was mad intricate. So I was like, I need to fuck with this nigga. Like I'm gonna follow him from now on.
You gotta respect that, man. That's the true artist, because what that shows you is that niggas is doing rehearsals. You know what I mean? And niggas like it's really intricate to be an artist. Like you gotta do a lot. You gotta eat right. You gotta exercise. And shit, you know what I mean? So shout out to Big K.R.I.T. And I know he does put on a good show. I've seen him before, you know, do his thing in person. But you know that's major.
Yeah, and so like fast forward to this year, like shit, none of this shit was happening 9 months ago. I just want to say that shit. Like none of this shit was happening 9 months ago.
Sure.
It was like I've been saying I was gonna move to Atlanta for a grip, and my dad was like, "Hey, bro, when you gonna move?" And I was like, "Don't say it twice." And he was like, "When you gonna move?" And so he bet me, and shit, I just moved straight to Atlanta, and I was like, "Yo, it's lit."
Okay.
And ever since we did that shit, we hit the ground running. We linked up with Dutch, who's K.R.I.T's manager.
Oh yeah, Dutch the homie. Okay.
Dutch cool as shit.
Yeah.
So we linked up with Dutch. Obviously, you gotta have some money to make everything shake.
Goddamn right.
So yeah, don't be watching this interview and think that shit's sweet, and you can just be like,
no. That's why I said it's a few components of this music shit now.
Right.
And I always say, like, you gotta have a budget no matter how dope you are, because in order to do the proper business, niggas gonna respect you when you do business. You feel me? They gonna look at you different. Like,
and niggas also think that like, oh, if I'm not dope but I got some money, it's still gonna shake. Not with fucking K.R.I.T. He not fucking with you. His shit whack. He not putting his name on that.
Too. That's a fact.
Right.
It ain't just about the money.
So man, we did that track, and we got in the studio, and he was playing his part of the track and shit like that, and me and Juice was just like literally blown away.
I bet.
By how my dude ripped the track, because you know you get a feature for some shit, and sometimes you be afraid that the artist gonna okie dokie give you some bullshit.
I've seen that too, where I'm like, this nigga shitty as fuck. But what you gonna say though?
You know what I'm saying? Right. The buddies pretty much already exchanged that at that point. But
put the money up.
Right.
I get what you're saying. I get it.
But man, he played this verse and he was ripping that shit, and I was just like, yeah, we got a good one.
Okay.
So we did the video. He pulled up and we did the video, and
that's love.
Yeah, it was just super dope. It was a super dope experience.
Okay.
Fast forward, we end up on tours with the niggas, so it's lit.
Shout out to Big K.R.I.T. again, man. I love what he got going on, and you know he represent for just like the everyday artist, in my opinion. That's why I fuck with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I fuck with him. I fuck with Dutch. I like what they got going on. Just solid individuals. So that's
solid.
major.
For real.
That's a good look. Okay, so another thing I observed while listening to your project, man. Tell me about your love life, cause goddamn, you done been through some shit, my nigga. Or are you going through some shit? What's going on?
God damn. All right, my nigga Prince in college, he was like, "Hey Riggz, yo, when all else fails, rap about what you know about." And the running joke at the time was, what thing you know about, nigga, you know about some booty, right? And so it's like, all right, I'm a little older now, right? So that me knowing about booty has evolved to me knowing about love, right? So that's what I be rapping about these days. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Nigga
I
had
heard
the
that on the
lineup.
project. I'm like, either he's in love, he's been in love. Which one is it?
There's a whole lot of that shit in there.
I know.
So I'm not repulsed by the idea of love.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Laugh.
Yeah.
But somebody laughing at you. I don't know. Niggas laughing. You better answer correct, my nigga, because you know she gonna see it.
Yeah. Shit, I ain't saving this live.
Yeah.
I ain't saving this live.
You ain't shit, man.
Nah.
Come on.
No,
man.
but to be fair, like I feel a lot, and I don't run from that, right?
Okay, I respect
A lot of
that.
niggas just be trying to be too hard for themselves these
Right,
days, and it's like
right.
I'm not like that. Whatever I feel, I'm gonna tell you, because it's like whether you a trap, if you a trap nigga, if you a school dude, if you a nerd, if you a gamer or hooper, like whatever you do, a musician. The one thing that we all got in common is love, right? It don't even matter what your sexual orientation is. Like you can love men, you can love women, you can love whoever you want, right? But the fact of the matter is, like at some point in time, we all gonna experience love or the desire to have it.
You right?
So that being said, that's what I rap about. So this shit on the project where I'm like, yo, I love you. This shit on the project where it's like, yo, I'm your friend, but I'm trying to fuck, and if you not, then we gonna have to go the other way with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna chuck up the deuces and go.
I get it.
There's parts on the album where it's like, yo, I love you, but you're not reciprocating. What the fuck is going on? And you know, and there's love from the other aspect of like, I see what you're doing and it's harming you. The actions that you're doing are harming you daily. So like, I'm noticing. I'm not trying to tell you. I'm not trying to preach at you, but I notice what you're doing is harming yourself. So like, you might need to take a step back off of that. You know what I mean?
Respect. I mean, I can always respect a guy that's in touch with his feelings. You know, I think that's healthy, especially with the black community as a whole. Because women, the same way. You know, I know sometimes I can be out of tune with my feelings sometimes and shit. I'm a hard bitch sometimes, but
that's
I
cool
get
too.
it. You know, but I respect that. And when I was listening to the project, I'm like, I just can't wait to get in his business and ask him that. You know, because I definitely heard those different, you know, things. But that's dope. So talk about just balancing everything when it comes to, you know, when it comes to personal life and music, because I know that can be a challenge too.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially like when you have as much duality as I have. So like on one side, like I'm all in, like I love and the idea of it. The other side is like, yo, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to talk to you, right? So it really depends on
I get it.
who I am that day. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, bet, yo, I love you. But then when you try to cuddle up to me, it's like, yo, why are you touching me right now? So that trying to balance that is tough. Also, like having relationships with women, it's like, okay, cool, I'm fucking with you. You my only one. And then I put out this record and I'm talking about hella shit that sounds super specific. It's like, yo, where the fuck did this come from? Yo, did this happen or is this just artistic expression?
Exactly.
It's like, shit, I fucking never tell. But you know what I mean? Like the idea is like, you have to allow me to be an artist. You have to be you have to allow me to be an artist.
Absolutely.
And work through my shit that way.
You're right.
And it seems like the more shit that I go through, the better the songs be on some Mary J. Blige shit. So.
Absolutely. I love when my artists are heartbroken. I'm sorry. Like I love.
That's
when
fucked up.
bitches
Don't wish that
heartbroken.
on me, dog. Don't wish that on me.
Heartbroken, but I'm sorry. When it comes to recording, my girl Keisha Cole, Mary J. Blige.
Oh my God,
I
yeah.
love when y'all bitches is heartbroken. I'm sorry, but like you know, it's beautiful to see when they in love too. But when artists going through some shit, some pain.
Don't sleep. That nigga Tyrese could cry on the track too.
I fuck with
Oh
Tyrese.
God. Yep.
Absolutely.
Facts.
You know, definitely, man. I get it. So you produce as well, right?
I do.
Is it difficult to get respect as an artist and producer? What's your experience being both?
Being both. So as far as the respect thing is concerned, I don't really get worried about respect because like my beats don't really sound like a lot of other people's beats.
Okay.
They always like usually more musical.
My nigga said musical. What that mean?
So like there's all right. So if I say to you like, yo, I got an Atlanta trap sounding beat, you gonna know what it's gonna sound like to some extent.
Okay. I'll take that.
You know what I mean?
I'll take that.
With the exception of a few cats in the game, you know what I mean? Like Zaytoven, you gonna know what his sound is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
super. You can distinguish it. Cassius, you can distinguish what his sound's gonna be. You know what I mean? And there's a few producers like that for sure. You know, but
For sure.
like when you hear my records, they tend to get the respect just because they don't sound
Okay.
like the other things. They'll have elements that'll make them palatable, so you can listen to them in the same setting.
Okay.
But it'll be like, yo, shit, this seem a little bit different. This seem a little deeper.
Word.
So it's like I don't really have to worry about getting my respect. The only thing that I would say is hard about that is, like when you're producing a lot of shit by yourself, you kind of tend to get into a box. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if I cue up a beat and I put that shit at 153 BPMs, like I already know what I'm coming with.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Or if I make an R&B track, I already know what it's gonna feel like, so I already know where I'm going with it, right? But if Juice send me a track, because Juice be having heat,
It's different.
it's different. I get a different vibe. It forces me to get out of my box.
Right.
Like we done made songs for BET this year.
Nice.
We done had videos on BET
Tales.
this year. Yeah, we made songs for Tales.
That's huge.
This year. And I got to be a totally different person on those tracks.
bet.
You know what I mean? I was selling drugs. I was killing niggas. I was doing all types of different shit. I don't do none of this shit in real life. Nigga.
Hey.
Like I was a double major in college, and I got
Okay.
really good grades, and I own a
Okay.
business right now. And I still be at the strip club and shit. And I love Jesus. So it's like none of that shit
I get it.
is who I actually am. But for the TV show, I got to play those characters.
hard.
And it's like that every time when you get beats from a different person, it just bring out a new piece of inspiration. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like the way you broke that down. I like that. I can dig it. I mean, yeah, like it was this funny meme circulating not too long ago. I definitely had to repost it, but it was just like, if you get in the car with me, we fuck hoes, you know.
Goddamn
we
right.
Smoke. We like, it was funny as fuck.
Goddamn
But that's
right.
so true. It's like, that's definitely how it is right with me. Like, we
Facts.
definitely doing all types of shit
Facts.
when we riding my shit. But
We getting rid of shit on the way to work.
you know what I mean? We killing niggas in the car. We doing all types of shit.
Oh,
you know?
God,
or
we
we
making
might make
plays.
love in the car. Like,
You know
you
what I
just
mean?
never know. Like,
Hey, I'm fucking with it. I love all that.
for sure.
All that shit.
Okay, so look, man, I want to ask you what the word progress means to you. You know, that's the name of the show. We talk about growth, getting better, and all that good stuff. So what does the word progress mean to Riggz?
Progress is an amazing word. Progress is something that I will never stop striving for.
Right, right.
You always want to put one foot in front of the other.
For sure.
And keep going and just try to be better than you were yesterday. We got a brand called November, and it's November without the vowels. And I have a headband on right now.
Okay, that's
Stands
dope.
for no vacations, mean better rewards.
Match my sweatshirt.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna hook you up. Yeah, I mean, so it stands for no vacation means better rewards. So it's like it's right in line
That's
with
right.
progress. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
cool.
Because
I'm checking
every
it out
day,
now.
the more work you put in, the better results you're gonna get out. You know what I'm saying? And every day we just want to progress and be a little bit better than we were yesterday.
I like that.
No doubt.
Well, I think you are extremely well spoken.
I appreciate that.
And I love, the project, like I said. So I'm in tune, man. I'm gonna definitely support your movement. So should keep doing you, man. Look at that smile. But let them know your social media. Where can they find you at?
Y'all can find me everywhere at Damn Riggz. Fuck Instagram right now. I'm trying to go towards YouTube right now. So y'all follow me on YouTube. I'm putting shit up on there like weekly.
Okay.
All types of shit. So follow me on YouTube. Damn Riggz. You type that into the search bar, you get that. Follow me on Instagram. I fuck with y'all on Instagram. I love y'all. Throw leaves under all my pictures and shit. And yeah, everywhere at Damn Riggz. That's where y'all can find me. Follow
Spell
my
it.
nigga Juice God too.
Spell them for them so they know.
Yeah, Damn Riggz. Damn spelled normally. For y'all who can't spell, that's D-A-M-N.
And right.
Yo, you can't imagine how
Well,
many
you-
folks don't
I
know that.
That's why I wanted you to spell it, because you never know. People just
Nah, it's
spell.
cool. Shout out my niggas that can't spell out there. Shout out
I
to pretty
wasn't
bitches
gonna
that can't
say that,
spell.
but aight.
Shout out to pretty bitches that can't spell. Shout out to pretty bitches that ain't got no furniture in their bedroom.
Ah,
Shout out to the pretty bitches who TV on the floor. I fuck with y'all too.
damn. Okay.
That's okay. That's what I'm saying. You fuck with a top flight nigga like Riggz, send me a DM, and I'm gonna make sure we get you a TV stand, baby. It ain't nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get you a
funny
TV
as
stand
fuck, man.
on some Big Daddy shit. You know what I mean?
You funny as fuck.
So Damn Riggz, DAMNRIGGZ. Damn Riggz. Everywhere.
Damn Riggz,
Check me
man. Well, this is the progress report. We out.
Why were you going crazy? Crazy.